Hey, what's up, y'all? This is August C. Jones here with another episode of the Triple W. If you've seen my prediction, then you already know this is the second episode or whatnot. I'm doing something new. It's not a CMJ World Vlogs. But in any case, you clicked on this video. You've already found out just like I did. Now, I was going to put out a video talking about the whole CM Punk thing. Now, if you've heard me talk about wrestling in the past and even recently on the CMJ World Vlogs, you will know that I mainly talk about WWE. That's the one that I mainly follow. When it comes to AEW, I'll, keep, I listen to podcasts like Solid Monster and stuff like that, but I don't really follow it closely. I'll follow certain things, but I don't really follow it closely. I know a lot of things is going on, but when it comes to AEW, that's not something that I know too much about to really speak on unless I really start watching it. But the CM Punk thing has been such a big thing that I wanted to talk about it. And I have a lot of words, I have a lot of things I wanted to say about it. And I guess you could say I'm kind of glad I made it. That way I could put all my thoughts, I can compress it all into one video. I'm trying not to make this too long, but so as you guys probably heard already, CM Punk was let go from AEW today, following the investigation of his actions in the altercation that he had with Jungle Boy, or previously Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. And my thoughts. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let me start driving. And it's like, I'm trying not to seem excited because it's never a good thing when a person gets fired. That's messing with their money. It's a loss of this and that. So it's kind of like a bad thing when somebody gets fired. But when somebody deservedly gets fired, that's when I'm kind of like, yeah, they needed to get fired. And CM Punk, love him, hate him, he's a Chicago native just like I am. So he definitely gets points for just that. He gets bonus cheers from me just because of that. But throughout the years, we all know how CM Punk is. CM Punk is one of them type of people where he doesn't shy away from controversy. He doesn't care. He's going to say what's on his mind, whether it affects him or not, whether it affects you or not. He's going to say whatever is on his mind, whether he's in the wrong or the right. It's like CM Punk is like that. And in ways, that's a good thing, but in other ways, it's a really bad thing. And so, taking it back to last year, a lot of you probably already know what happened. We All Out turned to Brawl Out, where he had a fight with the MVPs. All of them got suspended, and eventually all of them got brought back. The EVPs, the Young Bucks as well as Omega got brought back. Ace Steel got let go, and CM Punk got brought back later on. But after that, I felt that CM Punk should not have been brought back. He should have got let go. I felt like that was one of those things where leading up to that, he kind of set things ablaze. He wasn't trying to put out a fire. He was trying to throw more sticks and more gasoline to it. So when it happened, it was one of those things where, for one, you can kind of relate it to the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith thing at the Oscars. Had all this stuff happened at the Oscars, no one was talking about that but the Will Smith slap to Chris Rock, which was the same thing that happened at All Out, which was promptly named Brawl Out, or properly named Brawl Out, because all that people could talk about was CM Punk getting into a fight with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And this whole thing that happened, which should not have happened. And I'm going to get to it because I'm not placing all of the blame on CM Punk. I'm not going to say that it's all CM Punk's fault. CM Punk, blah, blah, blah. I'm not. I'm going to tell you where the blame lies. The blame lies with Tony Khan. But I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. And it does lie with Jack Perry too as well. But I'm going to get to that as well. So when we're looking at the whole situation, CM Punk, like I said, should have gotten let go after that whole thing. CM Punk is a vet when it comes to wrestling. He is a big name a big popular name, a person that when you put him on your roster, he should be the locker room leader. Along with him and like Chris Jericho, Sting, people like that should be locker room leaders. If anything goes down, they should be the ones to cool it. They should be the ones to stand up and be like, look, nah, we ain't about to handle this way. You know, that way Tony Khan ain't got to worry about, you know, taking care of kids when he's paying adults to perform in front of like a live audience and in front of, you know, people that's watching them on TV, not running a daycare. But let me continue on. When it comes to that, he should conduct himself better. It's like, I don't care who the fuck says what. CM Punk is old enough to where he should be like, okay, somebody want to say something, let's talk about this. We gonna get into it. We gonna argue, it's gonna be verbal. But let's find a common ground, because we all have to work here. We all have to come in. We all have to perform. We're all getting paid to do the thing in front of the people that we love doing. So let's find a compromise. How can we work together to squash all this? At least to the point where I don't have to like you, you don't have to like me, but we can work together. He should be like that, but CM Punk isn't like that. He's the person to, like I said, throw wood on the fire and to throw more gasoline on there. He's not there to put out the fire. He's there to make the fire get as big as he wants it to get, because it benefits him in some way or another. He's going to get his piece. And a person like that, to me, is very toxic. Very, very toxic. And that's why I felt like he should have been fired from AEW last year. I thought when he was off of TV for those many months, I thought that he was going to get fired, but they wanted it to die down. They wanted him to come back later on, because they think like, oh, it'll be out of people's minds, or people will, like, if they were real passionate about hating Punk or wanting to be against him, they'll calm it down. Cool. You waited to the next year, brought him back because you had a show Collision that was in Chicago, and you wanted that first episode to have CM Punk up in there because boosting ratings. You have a new show, you're trying to put a new name that's returning, a big name and all that. I get the whole business aspect. I don't blame Tony Khan for thinking that way. You still have CM Punk under contract, bring him back, cool, whatever. If you wasn't gonna fire him, great, cool. But in bringing him back, Tony Khan fucked up. Tony Khan should have had it in writing. He should have told Punk, there are to be no more off the script you blasting other wrestlers. It should not be that. You are to not have confrontations. I would have sat down Punk and been like, look, me and you, man to man, I need you to be a leader. I need you, since this is basically going to be your show, I need you to lead it. I need you to lead it to victory. I don't need you to split and all this stuff and try and take care of your own take care of your own bullshit. I need you to help me bring this show to where it can be. To be on the level of Raw, past Raw, to be on the level of SmackDown, past SmackDown. I don't need you bickering with other wrestlers. Matter of fact, he should have sat CM Punk as well as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Adam Page, sat them all down. Like, how can we do this? Because if we can't squash this shit, if we can't work together to bring this company to another plateau, if we're gonna sit here and be throwing shots at each other, and I gotta keep you over here in this corner, and I gotta keep y'all over here in this corner, and nobody can get along, I don't need that shit. So either y'all get y'all shit in order, or we're gonna have to like drop some EVPs, and CM Punk is gonna have to go somewhere else. That's it. That's where this should have been. But instead, Tony Khan fucked up because he brought Punk back. I'm pretty sure he did have a talk with him. And Punk, you know, apparently he apologized for his actions and everything else and tried to sit down with the Young Bucks, but they wasn't doing that, which, like I said, falls on Tony Khan. Tony Khan should have told them, sit y'all asses down in a room. Since y'all want to act like kids, I'm going to treat y'all like kids. And he didn't. Brought CM Punk back. CM Punk back. Came back, and he went on doing the same shit that he was doing before. He came in, did what he was doing, had the little spots at the show of whatever, of Collision, and threw another shot at Adam Page. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. But then comes to All In, which was properly renamed to Brawl In, the sequel to All Out, in which he had an altercation with Jack Perry. Now, this is where I split the blame from CM Punk. I share the blame with Jack Perry. Jack Perry, from what I understand, was that he wanted to do a spot because he wanted like the Collision off or something like that. They management told him no, but they had CM Punk related to Jack Perry. How CM Punk said it to him, we don't know. CM Punk, he probably said it disrespectfully, which rubbed Perry the wrong way, Jack Perry the wrong way, and he wanted to throw a shot at him, in which enraged CM Punk. Now, however it went back in gorilla position, however it went down, it ended up in the altercation to where Tony Khan was there. He saw it. Everything all worked. Everything all happened, and it was one of those things where after that, shortly, Jack Perry and CM Punk got suspended. Now, going through the days leading up to today, I was talking with like people I work with, and one of the guys was just telling me like he's gonna be at All Out. He's gonna be at All Out. Like that's gonna, you know, it's Chicago. He's gonna be there. He's a big name. Blah blah blah. And I'm just telling him, I'm like, if Tony Khan unsuspends him and brings him back to All Out, that's going to say a lot about Tony Khan. And around the time that Tony Khan is going to have people whose contracts are coming to an end, they're going to opt out. They're not going to want to renew. Because if you're letting a toxic person like that in your locker room, that is causing a lot of shit amongst the whole locker room and not being the person that Tony Khan needs him to be, then, and you're bringing him back, like, I don't want to be a part of this. I would rather go on the Indies, or I'd rather go to WWE, you know? And it says a lot about Tony Khan. It shows that he has no backbone. It shows that he rolls over and shows his belly when it comes to people like that. And I've heard, and I can agree with the fact that Tony Khan is mainly a fan. He's not a boss. He is a fan when it comes to wrestling, which is great. You can be a fan, but you got to realize that you have to separate the fandom from being a boss, because you can't have them both co-mingling. You can't be a boss and a fan. It's just like you can't be a father and a friend. That's why they say, like, with like children, when they tell certain parents, like, you can't be their friend, you have to be their parent. That means that you have to make the tough decisions for them. They may hate you, but it's going to benefit them in the long run. You can't be their friends and do that. And that's the same thing with Tony Khan. Tony Khan takes part of the blame because, like I said before, bringing Punk back, he didn't specify. He didn't put in paper that you cannot do these things. He didn't nip this shit in the butt. Or in the bud. He didn't nip this shit in the bud last year at All Out, at Brawl Out. And it carried on damn near a year later to Brawl In which the same person, the common denominator, got into another altercation. And from what the reports say is that he got in Tony Khan's face and said some choice words, leading to today, where we found out that Tony Khan had released CM Punk. And I can say it's about damn time. Like I said, saying, like, hoping that somebody loses their job, you know, it's not a thing that I want to do. But if they deserve it, then they deserve it. This wound is self-inflicted. CM Punk, as old as he is, and as many years and experience that he has under his belt in the wrestling world, he has more to give than to take. And right now he's taking. He's taking advantage of a person like Tony Khan, and Tony Khan is letting him. I'm not, like I said, I'm not letting Tony Khan off. Tony Khan, he is another main component. He's another person that he could have stopped all of this, but he didn't. But CM Punk only has himself to blame. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna look to this person, look to that person, blame everybody but himself. But CM Punk only has himself to blame. He could have took the easy way. He didn't have to say anything about Adam Page. When it came to Jack Perry, he could have had I'm about to say a fight. He did have a fight with him. He could have had a sit-down conversation with him. He could have brought, like, Tony Khan, come here. Me and you, we gonna need to talk. Or just say, like, look, Monday, can we have a meeting? Because I need to talk with Jack Perry. We need to nip this shit right here so we can continue on. But no, he didn't want to do that. He brought up to Jack Perry. So he got into Jack Perry's face and he wanted to fight. And that's what he got. And it's like he is responsible. I'm sorry for that. The light is in my eye. But CM Punk, he hasn't learned his lesson. He's a big star. He brings in money. He is very popular. A lot of people love him, even still now, which I don't, it's whatever. People are going to love who they're going to love. But at this point, CM Punk is digging his own grave. He really is. He had a chance to get into a relatively new promotion and build it and become bigger than what he was at WWE. But following his behavior and his injuries, he fucks that up. And it's nuts. It's crazy just to look at it. And I say that was one of the best decisions that Tony Khan could have made, was getting rid of CM Punk. Let me get out this light. And I feel like he made the best decision for him and for his company. Now, I'm not about to read the whole article, but I see it on ESPN, and they had talked about it. And one thing that I just wanted to point out, let me see if I can find this. This is crazy. So I'm not going to edit none of this because I ain't got time for all that. But so he stated that when it came to Tony Khan, when it came to firing Punk, it was his decision and his alone. And basically, the way he uses the terminology was that, let me find it. Oh my gosh. I'm not editing none of this. But until I find it, basically, he was saying the fact that in the best interest of the rest of the roster, of the rest of the fans, he had to basically do it. And that says a lot without saying like exactly what it is. Because if you're saying that you got rid of somebody, because it's for the best interest of the wrestlers. Okay, I found it. Okay, so he says that I guess it was on Tony Khan's Twitter, or his X, whatever. He says he didn't have to. He wishes he didn't have to share this news, but made the decision in the best interest of the many of amazing people who make AEW possible every week. That says an awful lot. That literally is saying that, like, yes, he is a cancer. He is toxic. He is somebody who is not bringing a good, positive work environment to your company. And for the best interest of those people, he had to get rid of. And so it says a lot, because Punk, I guess during the altercation that he even had with Tony Khan, not a physical, but when he was going at him verbally, he told him that he quit. He hates this place because it's toxic, blah, blah, blah. But apparently the reports say that a lot of people were saying that the toxicity comes from Punk. So essentially, that's like you getting mad at somebody, like saying, like, I can't stand this car because this car stinks. It smells like fart. but you're the one that's farting. Like, it's like, it's one of those things where he's trying to place blame on everyone else but himself. And I say, with me, that's the best decision that Tony Khan could have made. It may have been a hard decision because, from what I understand, he's a major fan of Punk. He's a big fan of Punk. But at the same time, yes, this was the best thing that he can do. Will he bring Punk back? I don't know. Maybe some years from now, maybe for a short contract, and maybe he'll have everything up in there, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. But as of right now, this is the best decision. WWE, I don't think WWE is going to grab him. I really don't. But one thing that I can say about WWE is that WWE would not have let this happen. The thing is with Vince McMahon, that no matter what you can say about him, Vince McMahon, he's a person where no one is going to try him. You're going to have, I mean, there's stories about people that, whatever, back in the 80s or early 90s or whatever, but you don't never hear anybody getting over on Vince like that. You would never hear too much of infighting in the locker room with the wrestlers from, like, WWE. Why? Because Vince runs a tight ship. They know that if they get into an altercation like that, like what happened last year at Brawl Out, everybody would have been fired. I don't give a fuck if you're an EVP or if you're just a wrestler. CM Punk, whether you're a big name or not, you're fired. That's it. That's all. Y'all are a representation of what we do, and I can't have y'all fighting. All the stuff that happened at Brawl Out would not have happened at WWE. It would not have. And everything that happened at Brawl Out, or what Brawl In, would not have happened at WWE. And which brings me to Jack Perry as well. Like I said, I shift some of the blame to Jack Perry because Jack Perry did not need to throw that shot at Punk. We all know how Punk is. We all know that he's not afraid of saying and doing things that, whatever. If he's gonna fight, he's gonna fight. If he's gonna if he's gonna talk crap, he's gonna talk crap. But yeah, like, Jack Perry, he could have gone about this a totally different route, but he chose the route of throwing the shot and riling Punk up to the point where they got into a physical altercation. Now, I get being a man or whatever, feeling a certain type of way, but this is where I say everything is kind of a domino effect. Tony Khan is the not representative. He is the person in charge of all this. He's the person that brought all this together and that is controlling it. And he's letting things happen. He with Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara. Guevara. Wow, Guevara. With Sammy Guevara. That little thing that they got into. And it's just and like all the stuff with the women in the women's division and like certain females coming out and saying this and all that. It's just, it should be a thing where Tony Khan comes out and he says that enough with this shit. I'm tired of it. I don't want to be in the news, people talking about my company, saying all the wrestlers are this, the wrestlers is that, the wrestlers keep getting into fights and stuff, the inmates run the asylum. Like, no, that's dead right now. Anybody that wants to get into fights and whatever in backstage, that don't want to bring it to management, to me, so that we can squash this shit, y'all can leave right now. I'll let you out your contract. He needs to step up and nip this shit in the bud. When Jack Perry did that, he should have got off the headphones and stood right in front of Punk. He should, as soon as Jack Perry came through, he should have been like, no, don't do this. You had to have some more joke, come cool CM Punk down. So, like I said, everyone has a fault. Everyone has fault in this. Tony Khan for not running a tight ship, for letting things slide and get to this point. CM Punk for letting his emotions get the best of him and not really holding anything back and being the vet and leader that he needs to be. And Jack Perry for escalating that shit, for throwing the shot when he didn't need to. It's like, I get you all, like are mad, but there are ways to combat just anarchy. And that's exactly what went on. So at the end of the day, when it comes to Punk, he needed to get fired. I'm glad that Tony Khan did it. It sucks that he had to get fired, but this should be an awakening. This should be a wake-up call for Tony Khan, where he should talk to his whole roster that this cannot happen again, because this damn near was as much as Brawl Out last year, where a lot of people are talking about Punk again for the worst reasons concerning your company. Tony Khan needs to get in front of the people. It don't even have to be in front of the ring, in front of the people. It could be a meeting that he called with his talent and explain to them, this will not be tolerated. Anybody gets into a fight from here on, like, you're fired. You know, he has to be strict like that. And that's really what it calls for. So with him getting rid of CM Punk, that was the best decision. Sorry for you. Maybe CM Punk will go back to writing comic books or doing something else. He's very talented, so go ahead and knock that shit out. But as of right now, that's not what Tony Khan needs, and it's fucked up, because tomorrow is All Out in Chicago, and CM Punk will not be there, which I feel like a lot of people bought their tickets because CM Punk was supposed to be in there, and Ricky Starks probably. It came out that he was supposed to go against Ricky Starks, but now Ricky Starks is going against Ricky Steamboat in a strap match, and that was supposed to be CM Punk going against Ricky Stark. But now there's no Punk, and Jack Perry, I feel like he should put him on probation as of right now. I feel like bring him off of suspension, maybe suspend him for maybe a few more weeks, and then bring him back, but let him know that, like, this shit would not be tolerated. He should not be fired. He should be fined and suspended for the next few weeks or whatever, and then brought back. But from here on, there's no more of the Punk bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised if they literally made something out of this called, like, no more of that Punk bullshit. It just call it that, or you got the Punk-itis, or, you know, stuff that happens like that. But when it comes to it, yeah, I agree with Tony Khan. I'm not sad for Punk. Punk made his bed, now he gotta lie in it. Now, hopefully Punk can see the error of his ways. Hopefully he can find himself in a different position, a different mind frame, so that next time, whatever company he ends up with, he's not handling situations like this the way he's been handling it. But yeah, as of right now, this could not have gone any other way but the way that it's gone. But yeah, so this was a long video. I already knew it was gonna be a long video. I was trying to decide on whether or not I was gonna compound this with my predictions for Payback, but I'm just like, that was probably gonna be maybe an hour-long video. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video there. And if you guys liked it, if you agree with what I said, go ahead, give me a like. Subscribe if you're not. Hit that notification bell for more videos like this. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out for another episode of the Triple W. The Triple W. Actually, the next episode will be my review for WWE Payback. So maybe Punk will show up there. I don't know. Well, I guess it'd probably be too late. But in any case, peace out.